This card was supposed to compete with 3DFX. Instead, it has one of the worst reputations of the late 90s. This is the ATI Rage Pro Turbo AGP. Quite a mouthful. But yeah, it had driver issues, driver controversies, mediocre performance, a custom API called CIF, which hardly any games ended up actually using. But was it really that bad, or was it overshadowed by the cards that were also released at the same time? Stick around and we're going to find out. So this card was released in 1997. So what I have here is a period correct computer from 1997, a Pentium II, 233 megahertz. We'll whack this card into that system. Give us a real world example of what it felt like if you bought this card in 97. So here we have that test system, one of my favorites, a slot 1 system. Love these things. Pentium II, 233, slot 1, and I've got 128 meg of RAM, which is pretty generous at the time, but that's all good. Here we are with our Rage Pro Turbo AGP. What a name. All right, let's get that in. In the mid-90s, ATI Technologies was already a major player in PC graphics, but not in the way the gamers think of today. The early cards like the Mark 64 were hugely popular in OEM systems, solid 2D performance and excellent Windows acceleration. But as 3D gaming started to explode, ATI pushed forward with the 3D Rage series. This was their first real attempt at consumer 3D acceleration, competing in a rapidly changing market where API standards and expectations were evolving almost overnight. Problem was, while the hardware was sort of decent, their drivers were notoriously bad. Then came the 3D Rage 2 and 3D Rage 2C. They were respectable improvements aimed at refining performance and adding features like better DVD playback and more stable drivers. By the time the 3D Rage arrived, the competition had really stepped it up. Nvidia was getting serious momentum and 3DFX was the king. It was really dominating the high-end scene, especially with Glide, its fantastic API. And the Rage Pro was ATI's answer, a more capable 3D accelerator with AGP support, improved rendering and broader API support, including its own CIF. And then they went on to release the Rage Pro Turbo AGP, which sounds like it's a new chip, doesn't it? But it's not. This was largely a marketing exercise. It was the exact same chip. They basically stuck on a new name and released a new set of drivers called the Turbo drivers. I'm doing air quotes here, by the way. And as if that wasn't shoddy enough, these drivers were specifically made to boost benchmarks. The funniest thing was, performance-wise, they were actually sometimes worse in games, but better in benchmarks. How dodgy is that? Of course, they totally got busted for this and took a real hit on their reputation. In terms of architecture and capabilities, this card supports OpenGL, Direct3D, and ATI's proprietary CIF. So this was ATI's competitor to 3DFX's Glide, designed for low-level hardware control and better performance at high resolutions. So we will be testing some games in ATI's CIF to see how they go. Okay, Moto Racer, here we are. It's looking a bit funky already. Look at this. The way it's rendering the polygons is doing some funny stuff. I believe this game also installs the ATI CIF API to run this game if you are running it with this particular card. So let's see how we go. Oh wow, look at the textures on the right, that building. Transparency seems to work fine, which is good. Frame rate looks great. Frame rate looks really good. Yeah, definitely. This feels great. So yeah, the performance-wise, the card is running it fantastic. Really great frame rates here. Wow, this feels really smooth. I've been playing this game on some terrible cards lately, so it's nice to feel it being so responsive and smooth. Especially when that frame rate jumps above 30, I can just really feel it. Yeah, no, this is running really good. Really good. Makes the game much more enjoyable, that's for sure. Games like this where timing is crucial, you really need those good frame rates and responsiveness. This is probably as good as it gets because this is the highest model. It's 8 meg with higher clocked memory as well. So yeah, looking really good. Playing the game very comfortably. Okay, let's play some Turok. So this is the ATI Rage Pro, you can see. So this will be using the ATI CIF API. So we can see it in action. So this game was released in 97, same year as this card. You can see it looks like I'm playing on a console, doesn't it? Because it was a console port. So yeah, this was originally a Nintendo 64 game. Got a lot of hype. So they ported it to the PC. And you can sort of see it in the colors and the textures. It just looks like I'm on a console. Lots of dithering to try and create those colors. Nothing says Dinosaur Hunter like a gun and clips. Be nice to have a crosshair, but nah. Just shoot in the general direction. This game is just so a game of its time. The graphics, the feel, it's just really, really early 3D. Very raw, So I'm not sure exactly what this is. Probably looks about 640 by 480. Looking at the size of that counter on the top left from Fraps. Yeah, I have no idea what the tolerance is, to be honest. Like I said, no crosshair. You know, consoles had to be much more forgiving because, you know, you're playing on it. Oh, what the hell, man. Consoles had to be obviously much more forgiving because you are playing on a controller. Cannot do aiming with a controller. It just feels like you're trying to turn a bus. Oh, yes. More arrows. Tech arrows. Oh my god. Whoa, man, these arrows really quite the shockwave. Yeah, look, you know, frame rates aren't the best. It's interesting that, you know, this is ATI's own format, so you'd think that it would, you know, this is their own API. You would think that it would run pretty good. You know, you'd be expecting better frame rates when you ran things in Glide. I mean, look, 3DFX is very different. That's the, you know, the daddy of them all. But when you ran things in Glide, their own proprietary API, it ran like gold. It was spectacular. You know, I do love retro PlayStation games. It feels like I'm playing a PlayStation. I mean, this is a Nintendo 64, so similar era. But yeah, it's very much those sorts of feelings that I get playing this. Here we go, my shotgun. My God, look at the size, mate. What is this, a 10 gauge? This is a big barrel. You know what? I have to shoot something with this before I end this test. Come on. I need a victim. There we go. Oh, yeah. Here we are with another ATI CIF game, which was Wipeout. So this was specifically made for the ATI, released with ATI cards. Okay. Frame rate's pretty good. Graphics aren't the best. Yeah, you can see little black lines appearing where the textures or the panels intersect. Oh my God, look at the world texture in the background. It is really low resolution, isn't it? Where am I going? Oh my God. Yeah, draw distance, wow. Yeah. Frame rate seems to be locked at, well, it doesn't go above 30. Graphics aren't too impressive, I must say. It is for a demo game. I guess maybe back in its day, I mean, I'm trying to put it into context. Back in its day, maybe you did buy yourself a ATI Rage Pro and you got this packed in the box and you thought, wow, this is awesome. Game feels pretty good. It's nice and responsive, fairly fun to play. But yeah, I can see why they packaged it with ATI cards. It really does play it pretty. The frame rate's very impressive. These sorts of rock solid frame rates were pretty good for back then. And you definitely, for racing games where response is very important, you do want some good frame rates. I love the draw distance. Look at the cave as well. There's big black seams on the outside of the cave. 16-bit textures, I guess. You look at all the seams in the road where things are just popping up. Textures, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough. Good old sin. So this was released in 1998. Highly overshadowed by Half-Life, which was released at the same time. Frame rate, nothing spectacular. So this does use a modified Quake 2 engine. So you can sort of see it where we shoot things, blood and those particles, very Quake 2. Yeah, it's really struggling. It's really struggling. I mean, this game came out 1 year after this video card. Yeah, it's definitely struggling. This is a big open area, lots of polygons. It'll be interesting to see how we go once we get indoors. It's interesting, the colors are very dark. Oh, man, it's really difficult to play though. This card is definitely struggling with it. It just goes to show how much technology and games were really changing and improving so much. Oh, here we go. Guys are coming through the roof. In that short time span, you know, a card that was decent on the year of release was trash within 12 months. Yeah, even though it's using the Quake 2 engine, it's getting much lower frame rates. So it's obviously much more modified, which is just taxing the video card a little bit more than the original Quake 2. I think I'll leave it there. So yeah, playable barely, I'd say, with this one. Okay, let's play some Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. Oh wow, yeah, I'm getting some cool effects again. Look at this. Oh. I think I've had this before with an ATI card. It just renders this screen really weird. That those brand names just going crazy. Okay, 640 by 480. That's fine. It seems to be locking at 30. Good old frame buffer. But it does look like it's about right. Sort of dips to the 20s for a bit, then goes up to 30. Rendering's not the best. That car shadow looks horrendous. So yeah, this game was released in 1998, released for PC and PlayStation 1. Yeah, it's doing the good old frame buffer. So it seems to be just alternating between 20 and 30 and wanting to stick to those frame rates. Sort of semi-playable. To be honest, this seems so realistic to me because playing games back then, this is how they felt. They weren't this silky smooth that we're used to now, and playing these games with much better hardware. This would be typical hardware that a lot of people owned, and it's crashed. The ATI drivers strike again. I've just been having so many issues with these drivers. I've tried about 3 or 4 now, and yeah, they all have their pros and cons. Okay, let's play some Jedi Knight. Released in 1997, same as this card. Alright, let's make sure we've got our settings. Alright, so you got to make sure you tick this one here. Enable 3D acceleration, very important. Oh, alright, straight into the action. What have they done to the old mate here? So yeah, absolutely love this game back in the... straight into a gunfight. I love it. This game was so cool when I played it. I absolutely love this game. Played through the whole way. Got no crosshair. It does a bit of auto aiming for you, which helps. But this looks pretty damn good, I must say. I really love it. This is one of the earlier Star Wars games that I played, and I just loved playing through, you know, the universe that I loved watching all those movies as a kid. I absolutely loved the movies. So it was great to go in there and play through it. Yeah, these frame rates look so good. If you bought this card in 97, you most likely would have played this game. And I think with these frame rates, you would not have been disappointed. I think I would have had my friends around showing off this, and they would have been pretty impressed. Oh my. Whoa. One punch knockout. I love these wide open spaces that they had. Really felt like the Star Wars, the classic Star Wars movies. For some reason, I have noticed this card, when you go into hardware mode, it does render things a little bit darker. The level design in this game was really outstanding. I'm actually playing through this game on one of my other boxes, and I'm pretty far into it. I've got the lightsaber and all my other powers. So yeah, very fantastic game, and fantastic to see it running so well. I would have been very happy about this. I remember playing it, I think when I started playing it, I think I had my original Voodoo one. I showed my friends this, and Need for Speed 2 SE, I think, had 3DFX acceleration as well. So these were the games that I generally show off saying this is what a 3D card does, and they were blown away. I like it. I love the look of this game still. It just really brings back so much nostalgia for me. I mean, look at these big wide open spaces. You know, not many 3D games had this back then, especially FPSs. They were more tight-knit, close-up. This just really had that big, wide expansion. It really felt like it did in the Star Wars movies that had big open spaces within the Death Star. Really had that grandness to it. Yeah, great to visit an old friend. So there we have it. It is an interesting card. You know, not a great performer of its day, but it's a card with character, I guess. And, you know, you're able to run ATI CIF, and it was great to have a look at that and see how it performed and rendered. It was a really interesting time for cards. All these different manufacturers were trying to do things. 3DFX came out with the Voodoo, which was obviously the dominant, the king. The same year that this came out, though, it had stiff competition. The Voodoo was out and it was in full flight, getting a lot of fanfare with Glide. Nvidia had released the River 128, which was an awesome performer on OpenGL. ATI, to their credit, they tried to also get in there and, you know, create their own video card and also create their own API CIF to compete with 3DFX's Glide. But I think it definitely did come short. And then you look at things that they did with their drivers. You know, ATI's drivers are notorious. They've been notorious for years, but this is where it all started. The dodgy turbo drivers, and even just the name. You know, I mean, it's a Rage Pro. They added the turbo. It's just another name. It's the same chip. They added new drivers and a new name, you know, released it like it was a new product, but it really wasn't. And apparently what they did was lower the texture resolution so you get a higher frame rate to trick the benchmark into giving you a better score. So yeah, look, it's a card that's got character, I guess. It really reflects the time and its place. It's not something you'd probably build into a retro rig, but I think it's something that's great to have in your collection to take you back to the time, you know, when these things were running and everybody was trying to figure out the landscape of 3D. So I hope you enjoyed this video and our trip down into the mid-90s graphics. Had a lot of fun making it, really appreciate it. If you did, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, if you do want to support my channel, I really do appreciate it. There are links in the description. Thank you for everybody that does. Really, really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.